Phase Hero, Daredevil Born Again, Episode 8. Discussion and review starts right now. Happy Tuesday night. We got one more week, and I'm going to probably bring my podcast gear to Japan. I moved the flight up. Don't want to miss the finale. Do it from whatever time it is in Japan next week. BD here with you. We got Jenna Anderson.
Hey, everybody.
We got Aaron Perrine.
Ooh, man. What's up, BD?
We got the best episode of Daredevil Born Again to discuss tonight. We'll go around with reactions. The comment section is already lit up. The audio listeners have already had access to the Daredevil Director Debrief episode of Aaron Moorhead and Justin Benson, directors of this episode. Everybody, please watch those, listen to those. I love being able to do those interviews, but also, like, genuinely, I learned so much in those from them, and I appreciate that they are finding an audience. Also, keep in mind, I did that interview earlier today, Tuesday, April 8th. I saw this episode 2 months ago. I took notes as best I could. I didn't know at the time I'd be doing interviews without having seen it again. I wish I had, I'm very proud of the interview. I wish I had it back because I love this episode so much. And in watching it again tonight, having it fresh in my mind, I was like, oh, I didn't even ask them about Vanessa not having told Fisk. Stuff like that, but Aaron and Justin are phenomenal. But all right, you guys know the drill. We're going to run through the episode. We're going to give it a rating out of 10. And before any of that, we're going to share our general reactions. So everybody in the comment section, go ahead and do the same while Jenna kicks us off. Jenna, what did you think of episode 8 of Daredevil Born Again Season 1?
I'm a simple woman. I love watching hot people on TV dressed really nice and talking about drama. This episode was exceptional. You definitely did not overhype how good of an episode of television this was. I was going in thinking like, oh, BD loved it as much as he did. Maybe there's going to be some sort of punchy element here. Like maybe there's going to be some big fight sequence. But no, instead it was character drama. It was just really high stakes, brilliantly done. It all crescendoed to a point that I cannot believe we got to. Like, well done across the board.
Aaron, how you feeling about it?
It's funny. As the chat is rightfully going right now, BD coming through like Nick Castellanos in the late innings, just crushing it. Absolutely crushing it. I really think it's a bit, deep left to Castellanos. Also, I don't have a job anymore. I really enjoyed it for what it was. I thought it was going to be different too, B, but like the drama's there. I like it a little bit lighter than this, but it is so compelling that you have to tune in for the next episode. You got to see how it all ends now.
This was, I think this episode's phenomenal. I'll tell you, this is as good as it gets this season. I thought this could have been a season finale. This could have been the last episode of season 1. That's the level of cliffhanger here. I watched this episode on a freaking iPad in a hotel room in Austin because I was out there for Novocaine and I had a deadline. The episodes expire when they send them to you early. They were going to expire. So I watched them and I was like, okay, I got to go to the airport. I bought Wi-Fi on the plane because I couldn't wait to watch the finale. And I'm watching it on I'm on my iPad like this, making sure nobody else can see it or take a picture of my screen or anything like that, because they have your email address plastered across it. I'm like, no. You ain't going to get me. Why? This is me watching in private. If somebody flew a plane right next to my window, maybe. But yeah, no, I think this was fantastic. I love how it doesn't require a ton of action to be exceptional. I think that Bullseye spinning his tooth out in a straight from the comics moment was phenomenal. I think getting all 4 of the major players this season on a dance floor together was fantastic. The way it was shot was great. The production, the VFX for Bullseye's perspective, using a wide angle lens for everything that involved Bullseye was really cool. And that just gives us a look into his vision. I have nothing but compliments for this episode. I just think Aaron Moorhead and Justin Benson really don't miss. I'm a huge fan of these guys with what they did with Loki season 2, with what they did with their Moon Knight episodes, and now the 2 episodes of Daredevil you've all seen that they've done, and then this finale coming up, which is good. It's not, in my opinion, not as good as this episode. But yeah, we all agree this episode's great, and I'm relieved because I know I hyped this. And I've been that person before, and I've been wrong. I remember walking out of that Thor 4 premiere, and I was like, this was freaking awesome. And then I settled down. I went and bought a ticket to it, brought Richard to it. I was like, wait a second. Was I just excited? And now I'm like, okay, let me take a step back before I say anything again. Think about this. And now I stand by it. I'm happy to, yeah. Woo! All right. This episode starts with Daredevil, or Bullseye, getting moved to Gen Pop. We see a blue rose. You can't have an actual blue rose. It has to be dyed blue. Just showing some of that Bullseye perspective. Fisk is the one who moved him there. So clearly you're going, oh, they need Bullseye dead. At that point, what were you guys thinking?
Exactly that. Like, it was definitely a way to just kind of heighten the stakes and heighten the drama. And I almost hate like that they've still been filming outside for season 2, because that already kind of like had my gears turning of like what could be next from there. But just in the moment for the episode, it was like, oh man, this could be crazy.
A couple super chats I want to thank real quick. Hannah with a 199. Do you wish we had a post-credit scene? I always wish for a post-credit scene. I'll just say watch next week all the way through. Don't turn it off next week. That's it. Just stay tuned. You know, you're a Marvel fan watching the finale. Watch it all the way through. And Hannah, again, with another 499. I know you have seen the finale, but if you hadn't, would you think that Bullseye dies next week? I'll just skip answering that because I've seen the finale. Aaron, Jenna, what do you think? Does Bullseye die next week?
I don't think so. I think he has such a like Looney Tunes kind of quality to him. I don't know. He's sticking around just to cause more chaos in all of their lives. Like, I feel like season 2 probably is going to lean into that even further in ways that we're not even aware of.
I mean, the boy has 9 lives.
Yeah.
Like, I swear, like, he should have been dead a couple of times if you go back to Netflix. I mean, my man should have got ended a couple of times, so probably not.
Man's got like a bionic spine.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That Daredevil season 3 finale, it was he got smashed on a corner and broke his back by Fisk, and then they made him into Cyborg Bullseye. Yeah. I won't predict anything because I've seen it. Red Hook is getting funded. This is Kingpin's money laundering scheme. Wilson sort of gives Vanessa her credit as she deserves. Heather is wrestling with having killed Muse. She's now questioning and insulting vigilantes pretty quickly. This is when last week I think I got ahead of myself when we were talking about this, and I said, well, she's really questioning. I wasn't differentiating. I had this scene in mind when I was talking about it. They went from shower loving to she hates vigilantes, a.k.a. Matt, your other half, pretty quickly. Woo, that's trouble in paradise. That's trouble in paradise. And I ain't talking about Kofi Kingston's foot.
Dang it, he got to it before me. Gold darn it.
Reference goes way over my head. When she called Muse and Daredevil like immature children, like immature boys, I was like, oh, that stings. Like, Matt has to be really kind of hurt by that.
Mm-hmm. She didn't even realize she was insulting her mans. Vanessa killing Adam surprised me. Definitely surprised me. I was like, wait a second. I knew she, like, you never would think she's going to kill Wilson. You never thought Wilson was going to kill her. I loved how earlier in this show, she looked at Heather and was just like, I've never felt threatened by Wilson. Because she knows she's the one person who can more or less control Wilson. And he would never hurt Vanessa. And he would definitely never want to be embarrassed in front of her. But what did you guys think of Vanessa killing Adam and how it sort of weirdly brought them two back together? I know Jamie loved this scene. If she has seen it, or when she sees it, she will, but she's not here to speak on it. So on her behalf, I'm going to preemptively let y'all know I think she loved it. What's up, Fit Dad in the comments? What's up, Dave?
I thought of Jamie immediately, and it made me so sad that she's not on this episode because I feel like she's going to have so many thoughts and she's going to be delighted that their twisted romance is not going anywhere. I really liked it. I was surprised because there was definitely a growing fan theory that was like, oh, what if Fisk turns Adam into the new Muse or something? Like, he's an artist. He could easily just like put the mask on his head, make him a copycat, go from there. I'm glad we didn't do that. And I'm glad it was more just about how twisted their relationship is. Like, that was definitely the right way to go with it.
I will say in the comment section, please steer clear of if it's I don't even know what's true and false about season 2 based on leaks and rumors and set photos. I do know we've all seen the really cool costume. Let's not act like we haven't. I know, but other than that, and if you haven't, spoiler alert, people wear cool costumes. I won't say who. We've all seen it. Heather gets invited to Wilson's inaugural black and white ball to benefit the Red Hook vitalization. Buck delivers that invitation. Matt is just like, hey, WTF, mate. What? I think that the tension that immediately instills in this episode is just really good writing. I think Heather, having been lured into Wilson's life as his therapist, and now he's such a master manipulator, she feels like in earnest she is invited because of her role in his life, and Matt knows but can't say what is really happening there. It's good stuff.
It didn't even really occur to me like, oh yeah, Matt doesn't even really know the full extent of her working for the Fisks. And so like all of that just coming up to the surface. And then, yeah, just his reaction of like, how did you get this address? How did you know that she even lived here? Perfect acting on Charlie's part.
I like Buck too, man. I like this guy, Buck Cashman. Good actor. Hey, Fit That CEO $9.99. Thank you so much. I love that after Matt takes the bullet and immediately after you can see the blood spatter on his suit that matches his painting. Is that true? Is that do we see the paint? Hold on, I'll pull it up. But we'll pull that up when we get to that part of the episode. We're going to keep going in chronological order here. So this Matt's life is spiraling. Kirsten's getting tired of it. Matt is like, I ain't defending a criminal, like a scumbag fraud guy who's trying to take money from teachers and stuff like that, which obviously felt like a metaphor in itself for all the things he was saying, like several layers to it of conversations we've been having in recent years. But that quickly just shows that his relationship with Heather's falling apart. His good standing at the law firm is dwindling because Kirsten's getting tired of his shit. She's like, Matt, what are we doing, bro? Cherry, I like how in the next scene, Cherry still has his back because Josie says he didn't use his walking stick. And he's like, oh, I didn't notice. But that scene was the pivotal moment that sets everything in motion to get to the end of this episode and therefore get to the finale of next week. Josie tells Matt that Foggy was drinking the good stuff. You only drink the good stuff when you're balling out because you won. At this point in the episode, you're going, wait a second, where's this going? What was he celebrating? I hadn't put it together yet at all. I had not put it together yet at all that Foggy was being silenced, and Matt does. Where were you at this point, Jenna?
Definitely same boat. Like the gears started turning in my head. It started all clicking. I love when a show can have like a good mystery or a good through line like that and just kind of follow up on it and not even have it be something that I was aware of the entire time. Like definitely worked for me.
Aaron, what about you? What are you thinking at this point?
Young Mush is right. The jersey like came out for 2 seconds. I did not track this from the beginning completely. So it was like oh wow. Like, I mean, you know what? I'm a sucker for the closing the loop at the end of a season from the beginning. Like, I love that conceit. So to have it the beginning, people being like, it should have been a bigger deal. Why did it feel like it was just this cast off thing? Well, Mr. Moorhead made it feel like it wasn't some cast off thing. It's all connected, as one Brandon Davis used to say many moons ago.
It used to be connected. Now it's just a bunch of different movies and shows for a few more months. Fit That. Listen, after Matt's girlfriend called him a child, I was done with her. I feel like Heather is going to end up being like Andrea was in The Walking Dead. You guys watch Walking? Did you guys watch Walking Dead?
I watched when Andrea was on it.
Yeah.
Like Andrea in the comics was a super cool character, incredibly badass character, falls in love with Rick, makes good decisions, tough decisions. Andrea in the show was a dipshit. And everybody hated her. She sided with the governor. I feel like she's anti-vigilante. She's aligning herself with Fisk in that regard. She's not listening to Matt, her boyfriend, who she should be trusting in that situation. And I feel like she's being primed to be hated. And I'm seeing Heather hate in tweets, in the comments, all kinds of stuff. I don't know if she's going to be full Andrea, but Andrea got it bad back then. Andrea does that say stained the governor or stand the governor?
I think stand.
She sure did. She did more than that with the governor.
I like Heather. I don't know. It's also curly hair. Like I'd feel a kinship towards her. But I don't know. I feel like she's entering the fold of the show in a very unique and specific way. And I like that none of Matt's love interests are exactly the same. Like I like that they all bring something different to his life, either from like the point of time that they're there or what the point of view they have on both sides of his life. And I like having that source of conflict. Like, of course, the internet's going to react how they do, but I can kind of see where she's coming from, even if I don't agree with it myself.
Challenger Girl ATX, thank you for the 2. All I know is Fisk better leave swordsman alone. Josiah, congrats. Listen, I think you hate this show. Is that Josiah who keeps leaving the comments? Somebody keeps leaving the comments about
Alex,
hating
please,
the show
please
in Marvel. I don't know why you're here. Here's the attention you ordered. Enjoy. It's okay. We welcome people. Not, we tend to lean positive. We don't all like everything the same, but when you're overtly commenting negativity over and over again, I think it's just boring. Alex B, thanks for the $4.99. BD hates Heather confirmed. What up, gang? Yo, we gotta start making t-shirts for all the hate confirmed. And then they're gonna be like, wow, Face Hero actually isn't such a positive podcast after all. Shilling for hating characters, apparently. I don't know. You win, you lose, and you win. Matt and Dex, they reunite in that sequence for the first time since Matt tossed that man off a rooftop. I love this scene. I thought it was well written. Dex is basically threatening Matt in this negotiation, saying, I'll die in there and you'll never know what happened with Foggy and why it happened. And I thought that was really well done, well acted. Props to Wilson Bethel. And he says, another night in here, I might never be able to answer that for you. And then I loved how Charlie Cox was like, oh, sweetheart. I thought that was hilarious. The acting from Charlie in this sequence was great. And then Dex says, in another life, you'd be defending me because that's what good men do, right? Defend their worst enemies, which comes back around immediately in this episode. But Matt slams his head on the table. Tooth comes free, setting up the tooth as a weapon moment from the comics. Do you think Matt did this on purpose?
I feel like at very least to get his anger out, he did. I don't know if he necessarily thought as many steps ahead as Dex ultimately took it, but I think he was just getting like the catharsis and the tension out of having that interaction with him. I also have to say, this episode aired at the heyday of Tumblr. My God, because like the chemistry between the two of them in this context was insane. Like
Are you telling me people would ship these two?
1,000%.
I'm tired.
Yes. Aaron, am I alone in this? Like,
she's correct.
Oh,
100% correct.
there is definitely a corner of the internet that already did ship them, and then this is like toxic yaoi on a way that is like very, very kind of wild.
Gasoline on it.
Yeah,
that's toxic. That's toxic. Matt literally says one of the best FUs in TV history at the end of this scene. I loved it. $4.99 from Hannah. Thank you so much. Was this episode one of the original ones or was this a new one? This is a step into. This is the first draft, basically. I'm sure they did a couple of reshoots and stuff, but this is Aaron and Justin who directed this. They did not come in to direct until the overhaul was in place already. So this episode is not affected by the overhaul. This episode is a full result of the overhaul, as far as I know. I don't know if there's anything from previous episodes that ended up getting stitched into this, because I know things have been moved around. But Ayelet, for example, was not part of the original show. So having Vanessa be the one who killed Foggy, or had Foggy killed, is clearly something that was set up in that first episode and now comes full circle in the first time we have these guys back directing since then. I personally thought Matt, by the way, made Dex's tooth come out on purpose because he needed to set something in motion, because he would have heard that tooth clanging around in his mouth. This man can like hear everything. I think he would have known that Dex had a loose tooth that he could have used as a weapon. So I personally saw it as like, that's rare for him to lose control like that. I know he's mad. If there was a circumstance for him to do it, this would be it. But I thought he did it on purpose because he had a plan. And look, we got Josiah turned around. What's up, Josiah? Thank you. I thought Matt did it too. Thank you. I love it when people agree. Look at that. It's that easy. Hey, welcome to the positivity team. Kingpin talks with Swordsman. Matt completely zones out and listens to it, leaving Heather to stand there as if it's one of the women in You, when the guy, Joe Goldberg, is having a conversation with the audience in front of them, and nobody even bats an eye at these frozen men. Matt's just frozen listening to it. Kingpin, references Jack being Swordsman, says it's probable cause for a visit from my task force, which prompts a question of whether or not it's a threat. And Wilson tells him, no, of course not. It's merely a warning. And that was what Jack said to Wilson in an earlier episode. That exact line was said from Jack to Wilson earlier. So Wilson, of course, has manipulated the situation to take control of it. I love getting the Hawkeye character brought back. Anything to that thing? You guys have any thoughts on that scene?
I was half expecting him to be like, and your, once and future stepdaughter is also a vigilante, or like calling out Kate Bishop in some way. Glad that didn't happen and he wasn't threatening her too. But yeah, this scene was delightful. I'm sure Aaron, Hawkeye Defender, has so many thoughts.
You're muted.
Oh no.
I enjoy having other stuff pop up. I'm not afraid of the connectivity in this regard. I don't know, like, it's just fun. Tony's delightful, so like have him in more stuff. So yeah. Wait, I don't know about that, man. Fryer grease can be that hot. I feel like if I don't want to test that.
Draw Ross, thank you for the $1.99. If that's a voluntary, we can all go to the local McDonald's, and if you're gonna be the first one to stick your hand in and find out, we'll watch. No, don't do that. Don't actually do that.
No.
Nobody stick your hand in the fryer. I think that would be terrible for your skin. It's not part of your skincare routine. There was a sequence where Jack was talking to some blonde woman in that ball, and he said, "Where's your other half?" And then she said, "Oh, not here. Where's yours?" Is that a reference to Kate's mom?
Yeah, because she at least asked, like, "Are you bringing anyone?" And he was like, "No, I'm perpetually single," or something along those lines of like, "I'm here by myself." So it sounds like they're not together anymore. But
a reference to Kate Bishop's mother there, Eleanor Bishop, right? What's her name?
Yeah, Isn't she in jail?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. How did Hawkeye end? That was so long ago. I forgot.
If Jamie was here, she's like rewatched it a dozen times. She would know.
Wow, I forgot Vera Farmiga was in the MCU. It's been 84 years. We've had 30 hours, 40 hours of MCU content since Hawkeye?
At very least.
Probably.
I've watched all of it probably twice. I haven't watched Hawkeye in years, though. I got to rewatch that show. I loved the sequence with BB talking to Commissioner Gallo. These are two people who are risking it all. I really like Commissioner Gallo. This is a guy who, from the jump, I think also he's just kind of that paternal type guy who you trust when you grow up in New Jersey. Like he seems like a good dude, and he seems to be the good dude who's now forced to be the figurehead of the bad dudes, not by choice, but by threat from Wilson earlier in the show. BB, on the other hand, keeps forcing us to watch the BB reports, but is doing good work. I love the BB reports. They're my favorite thing ever. But that conversation between them, he asks her, when did you become Fisk's Minister of Propaganda? She says, when did you become the SS on his task force? And they also, basically, he says, I have files on every crook with a badge that Fisk calls his task force. They have so much at stake here, and I'm excited to see them team up to possibly become a thorn in Fisk's side.
I was very pleasantly surprised by this scene. I think they both absolutely crushed it acting wise. And yeah, I think having any sort of way to resist what Fisk is doing, especially as Matt is spending the entire episode almost going crazy over how many things Fisk is doing to his life. It's nice to kind of know there are still genuinely good people on this show and that they're trying to do stuff like this. I loved that scene.
BD hates the previous BD who hated the BB reports. Confirmed. Oh man. And now, okay, let's talk about. Oh, here we got one more 5 from Fit That CEO. Thank you, my friend. This is so off the wall, but at one point in the beginning of the ball, I got red wedding vibes, like Fisk was setting everyone up. When is Fisk not setting everyone up? I mean, I like the way he came out in his suit and did his little dance moves, his little finger guns, and all that. Fisk is listen, he's a charismatic guy, so you can believe that people would buy into his what the crap he's selling. But yeah, the red wedding comparison. Did you guys know, when did it start to set in how insane this episode was about to get?
I mean, for me personally, it was when the ball started of like, oh, something is going to go down. Like, hopefully this is the entire rest of the episode. But then, yeah, once Dex is in like the elevator of the building, it's like, oh no, something is about to happen before this episode's over.
If you've ever used a pressure cooker or Instant Pot, it starts to like make noise once a certain amount of pressure enters. And I think Jenna's right. The elevator was like, all right, we're at boiling temp now. We're doing real cooking.
I loved the moment where Matt grabbed Vanessa and said to her, does Wilson know you ordered the hit on Foggy? And she says, does Heather know you're Daredevil? And she just flicks his little bow tie. Just a great acting touch. From both of them, really. I mean, this little flick of the bow tie. Woo! Thought that was great. I don't know. Just stood out to me. Nice touch. This sequence was... I had no idea who Bullseye was going to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
He could shoot Heather because he wants to hurt Matt. He could shoot Matt because he has a history with Matt. He could shoot Fisk because he's kind of the one who's orchestrated everything. And he could shoot Vanessa because we saw earlier in this episode, she manipulated him into killing Foggy in the first place, which resulted in his life being even worse than it was, basically. So when that started, what did you guys? Who did you think he was going to shoot?
Like you said, it could have been anybody.
Whew, but it was Fisk.
He really hates Matt. Like, I was like, I feel like my man's going to catch one. It just didn't happen the way I thought.
Draws 199. Thank you, my friend. Says justice for BB reports, and also I'll take all the grease. Don't take the grease.
No,
don't take the grease. Do not. What was Fit Dad's comment that we wanted to revisit for this end sequence here?
Oh, it was the painting.
Oh, the blood on the.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that's way too early. Let's see. Let's take a look at the white suit. What a shot. This whole sequence is remarkable. I mean,
when the aspect ratio changed, I lost my mind. That was so cool.
Did it again. Come on, I can't show this whole freaking sequence on here, but we can show some still images. Where is it? I don't know where it is. I can't find it. Oh, I guess when they're out, don't they like sit together? I don't.
Yeah, I know the shot you're talking about.
Oh.
What?
Come on. I mean, yeah, it is very similar. It's a very similar spatter of blood as that's what's on the painting in there from season 3 of Daredevil. Alex B, 499, thank you so much. I love that Fisk was the reverse Matt, taking people into that back room like the reverse Daredevil confessional scenes. Wait, taking people that back room. Oh, he's going. He's taking people from the ball to basically make threats. In reverse of what Matt does. This is not a challenge. We're not endorsing this. Don't do this. No,
please don't
play with fryer grease. Official warning: it's bad for you. And if you're listening in audio form, the comment section thinks it's comical to dip your hand in grease traps, like we saw the corrupt police in Daredevil Born Again, because apparently that wasn't convincing enough that it's terrible. Don't do that. I've never done it, and I know not to do it. All right? It's that easy, people. So, all right, comment section. If there's anything else from this episode tonight you guys want to talk about, drop it in there. Jenna, Aaron, anything you guys want to talk about?
I have one very niche Easter egg. So the song that is playing while Wilson and Vanessa are doing their first dance mentions Delancey Street, which is the real street that Jack Kirby grew up on and is the inspiration for Yancey Street, which is where Ben Grimm grows up. He has the Yancey Street gang that like cause hijinks in the Fantastic Four comics. So that was just a like weird little thing that definitely pricked my attention because I was like, oh.
I love it. We got a
Very
5
good.
from JH. Why didn't anyone shoot at Bullseye? And he
Yeah.
only has one bullet. I want to like this episode, but Matt is all over the place with his decisions. I think I think Matt being all over the place with his decisions is reflective of him trying to fight off his true self. He's keeping part of him hidden, and that is resulting in him acting sporadic, and it's showing in every relationship in his life, resulting in him getting freaking shot. So, yeah, I did kind of wonder, how did Bullseye not just get shot immediately? And does he
They're
only
all
have-
like training the guns on him as they're taking Wilson and Vanessa out. But like, yeah, nobody. I've also rewatched The Batman so many times. I feel like I've seen an alternate version of this scenario go down very differently. Of like, yeah, there should be, some sort of defense happening, and it wasn't at all.
We've got Fear and Beer, a Halloween Horror Nights podcast for $4.99. Thank you. Vigilante Justice is down 30%. Who are the masked vigilantes he's getting these numbers from? Vigilante Justice is down 30%. You got to do the hands thing too, like that whole thing. Was that a line in this episode?
It was. I was also thinking about it of like, well, technically we've had 2 vigilantes die over the course of this show so far. So it's like, does that also goose the numbers a little bit?
I mean, he can also thank Sony for that. Because Spider-Man has been inactive since Spider-Man No Way Home and can't appear in the MCU. So less vigilanteism. I'm curious how Thunderbolts is going to affect Daredevil Born Again, because all these Thunderbolts trailers that we're getting show that there is clearly something massive happening in New York City. We'll talk more about this next week too, after the finale. But there's no way Matt Murdock and everybody in New York is going to be unscathed and at minimum impossibly unaware of what happens in Thunderbolts, unless everything we're seeing with the Sentry and Void stuff is some sort of hallucination or forced vision, which I don't think it is. So I'm curious to see that. I drew the Avengers Tower in the finale. Wouldn't that be nice, Joe Jameson, with that comment? So yeah, I would love to see in Thunderbolts some acknowledgement of Daredevil, or in Daredevil Season 2, which will follow Thunderbolts, some acknowledgement of Thunderbolts, but we'll see. There hasn't been a ton of that connectivity between the shows and the movies and the MCU since the Multiverse Saga kicked off. There's been some, but not as much as I would personally like. $2 from Challenger Girl ATX. Thank you so much. Frank is going to be so mad, isn't he? Oh, isn't he? Yeah. Anything else from this episode, guys? All right. 10 scores. Jenna, kick us off the 10 score comment section. Do the same. Rate Daredevil Born Again episode 8 out of 10. Don't rate it 8 out of 10. Rate episode 8 on a scale of 1 to 10. Jenna, you're kicking us off. What'd you think of Daredevil Born Again episode 8?
I'm going to say a 9.4. I definitely think this was among the best of the season thus far. And again, in terms of TV, in terms of drama, this can't get, you can't get any better than this, other than I really loved the courtroom episode earlier in the season.
Aaron, how you feeling?
I think it's probably a 9.5. I don't want to harsh anybody's mellow. It was very interesting. I really could not see how you were saying, oh, it's going to be this. And I got a completely different helping. So sometimes these can surprise you. It's nice to be surprised.
I want to shout out Protem. That's fuck you. It was very satisfying in its delivery. I felt like the MCU was holding on to that forever. Not that we didn't get Deadpool and Wolverine already, but I thought I agree. We got a lot of 9 point somethings in the chat, 1.6 out of 10, but a lot of high 9s, 9.99, all that kind of stuff. I am at a 9.6 out of 10 on this episode. I thought it was fantastic. I think it's the best episode of the season. I think, in a sense, it almost makes the finale feel like an epilogue, because this could have been a cliffhanger that ended season 1 and sent you into season 2. That puts us at a 9.5 out of 10 official Phase Hero score. And the comment sections are all 9 point something. We had a 10 out of 10 in there. And I'll tell you, 9.6 is the highest score I give any episode this season. And this is it. This is the episode. So yeah, we have one more episode of Daredevil Born Again next week. Daredevil director debrief. I'm going to go ahead and drop a comment with that right now if anybody wants to watch it. I really hope you guys will watch it because I want to do more of these in the future, whether it's with Ironheart or Peacemaker or other things like that. I'm really hoping to keep doing these episodic breakdowns with the people who make these shows. So please check them out, learn something, leave a comment, leave tips on how to improve these director debrief episodes. If you don't mind. Brandon Moore, thank you so much for the 10. The fact that Samuel L. Jackson still hasn't the opportunity to drop an F-bomb in the MCU. Crying face emoji. I mean, that what was it? Captain Marvel or Avengers Endgame credit scene with the tease of Captain Marvel. And he disappears. He was that close, and Thanos said, "No F-bombs for you, my friend." Perfectly not balanced. Jenna, any last words for today's show?
It's at Hey It's Jenna Lynn on social media. If you're going to be at C2E2 this weekend, come find me. You can probably find me from my hair. I'll just be walking around. As always, go read some comics and go subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is at Go Read Some Comics. I am working on a video essay right now that I'm very, very excited to launch. It'll hopefully be posted on Wednesday.
Awesome. Aaron?
It's at Slim Lake Hornet on all platforms, and at How to Watch Free TV. You can listen to Jenna be my first guest from last week on the channel now. And tomorrow we have your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man showrunner and writer Jeff Trammell on the show. I have some fun stuff for you guys. You can go watch first episode on YouTube in preparation. So yeah, big week.
Everybody, W Aaron in the chat. W Aaron in the chat. Go ahead, line them up. Thank you guys so much for hanging with us. I can't believe there's only one episode of Daredevil Born Again left. We will be back next week. I don't know what time it's going to be in Japan. I don't even know where I'm going to be, but I'm going to find a way to make it happen. I can't wait. The completionist in me won't let me not do a Daredevil Born Again finale episode. Very excited to talk with everybody about that. Again, Daredevil Director Debrief. Go and give it a listen. What else? Andor interviews coming soon to the channel. The Amateur hits theaters on Friday. I've seen it. It's okay. Goodish, good, not great. Thought it was good. Rami Malek was great. Lawrence Fishburne's great. Have an interview with Katrina Balfe coming to the channel as well. So stay tuned. There's lots of good stuff coming, and just a lot of fun, all kinds of things, and Star Wars Celebration coverage because I'm headed to Japan on Friday, and it's going to be the longest flight of my life, and it could not possibly be more worth it. Have a great rest of your week, everybody. See you on Monday. Oh. Play our show for your dad, play it for your cat.